Breaking news out of Lincoln County. Police say they have captured a kidnapping suspect after a long police chase.
He was a great Kentuckian, the towering Kentucky figure in the last half of the 20th century.
Much has been said about how Wendell Ford went from Kentucky to Washington. Today, Washington came to Kentucky to say farewell.
Friends and family say goodbye to a Marine killed in a crash. We'll show you how they said farewell today.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. We continue to follow a breaking news alert out of Lincoln County. We're told that's where a man wanted for a violent kidnapping hundreds of miles away in Missouri has been arrested.
The Lincoln County Sheriff says Robert Caldwell was caught after 4 this afternoon on Highway 698 after a 3-county chase. Kristen Kennedy is live in Lincoln County where Caldwell was arrested. Kristen?
From what we can see, Lincoln County deputies are out here. This is where the chase came to an end. And they also say that this is where the sheriff says one of his deputies chased down Robert Caldwell and arrested him. Caldwell is wanted out of Kansas City, Missouri. Police there say he and another individual kidnapped a 67-year-old man Thursday. Also stole that man's van. We're told the victim managed to escape in St. Louis. Investigators found the van abandoned on the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown. And today, Lincoln County deputies joined Casey and Pulaski County deputies chasing Caldwell. They say he stole a car from a neighboring county. The FBI is supposed to be out here right now. They are supposed to be questioning Caldwell. We're going to stay out here and we're going to try and get a little more information from the sheriff. For now, we're live in Stamford. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Kristen, thank you for that live report. Hundreds of lawmakers, politicians, family and friends gathered today to say goodbye to Wendell Ford. The former governor and U.S. senator died last Thursday at the age of 90.
Today's service was in Ford's hometown of Owensboro. Vice President Joe Biden and former President Bill Clinton were both at the service today. Phil Pendleton was there as well and tells us how Ford received respect and honor. It's our top story at 5:30.
Roads were closed and security was tight as hundreds made their way into Owensboro's First Baptist Church to remember Wendell Ford. State leaders joined the vice president and former President Bill Clinton to say goodbye.
He was every man. He was a man of a common person. He was a person who always had Kentucky on his mind.
Ford was eulogized as being a friend of farmers, coal miners, and the common man.
He taught me so many life lessons, and the most important thing about Wendell Ford that I'll always carry with me is how he treated people. I mean, Wendell Ford treated people the way you ought to treat people.
Vice President Joe Biden said that Wendell Ford was the most effective legislative leader he ever worked with. And Bill Clinton said that Wendell Ford was the rare person who was both a great governor and a great senator. Clinton said Ford thought he was right and fought for it, but he was great also at making deals. Some said his greatest gifts came after he left public office.
Yet he continued for another decade and a half to mentor the next generation of people in public life. He did that for me. He did that for a lot of people.
He was a great Kentuckian, the towering Kentucky figure in the last half of the 20th century.
Ford's passing was mourned today, but many said what he did is worth celebrating. In Owensboro, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Ford was laid to rest during a private ceremony at a Davis County cemetery.
We had another cold, wintry day around the Bluegrass, but we are starting to see some clear skies.
Yes, we are. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking a good change in the weather for tomorrow. Sounds like it's going to be another winter.
Yeah, you like a little sunshine? We got it coming your way. We're getting sun out there now, but it's not impacting everyone. Look at our neighbors across southern Kentucky. This is our live cam out of Corbin along Interstate 75, where we have a little bit of snow still on the hillsides and a lot of overcast conditions. Now contrast what they're seeing into southern Kentucky with what we have here in the Bluegrass region. Sunshine that is out there, but we're looking toward the west and south. See that little band of some clouds that is showing up? Well, we have a little bubble of clearing right on top of central and northeastern parts of the state. 30 cool spot into the bluegrass area. That is down at Richmond. 32 into Mount Sterling, Lexington, and Frankfort. Wind chill is down into the low and mid 20s. Quick peek at Live First Alert Defender. Not a whole lot that is out there, but we are showing you that bubble of clearing into the eastern half of the state. Folks to the south and southwest of us, hang in there. You're going to see the skies slowly begin to clear up as we head into the overnight, leading to a good-looking Wednesday. That's a good-looking one day for your Wednesday. I'm tracking more snow chances when I come back in about 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. 2 people have been charged after police say they found children living in what they describe as a filthy house. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Madison County. Berea police arrested 29-year-old Jose Esparza and 19-year-old Crystal Gadd after making the discovery. At a home on Manus Street last week, police say 3 adults and 3 children were living in the home. Police tell us they found trash and food all over the floor.
Food on the floor, dirt on the floor, roaches, cigarette butts. There was no running water in the home. Not conditions really that anybody should be living in, especially if you have small children.
Both adults have been charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and wanton endangerment. The children have been placed with family. In Clay County, a man has been convicted in an overdose death case. 54-year-old Terry Smith was found guilty of giving pills to Patty Smallwood, who took the pills and died in her sleep. This is the first case in the Eastern District of Kentucky that didn't use an autopsy report as evidence. Smith will be sentenced in May. He faces 20 years to life in prison. In Jefferson County, a nearly 35-year-old cold case may have been solved. Louisville Metro Police say they've arrested a 71-year-old man for a murder that happened in 1980. Jerry Weatherford is charged with rape and murder in the death of Harriet Hardy. Detectives say that when the cold case unit formed in 2009, they went through old cases and sent in DNA that technology could now test.
For me, I was happy to be able to let the family finally get that closure, and then also for the lead investigator and his team to be able to know that they were on the right track from the beginning. It's just that technology hadn't gotten there for them to make the arrest.
Weatherford was arrested Monday afternoon at an assisted living facility. He was an initial suspect and was arrested in Hardy's case in 1980, but police say there was not enough evidence to indict him at that point.
It's a farewell that no one wants to do. Today, friends and family said goodbye to a 23-year-old Marine. Corporal Tyler Brewer was killed over the weekend in a crash in Powell County. The crash happened just after midnight on Saturday along Black Creek Road north of Clay City. 2 other men were injured in the wreck. This afternoon, friends and family paid their respects to Brewer and his family at his funeral at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Stanton.
Night of the wreck, there was 3 good friends that went to school, grew up together, were friends throughout life. If fate could have stepped in right before the wreck and said, one of you are not coming out of this wreck, you have to come, Tyler would have went forward and said, I'm the one.
All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention?
Tyler was one of my best friends.
Tell me, are you happy?
He definitely was one of the main influences I had in joining the service, and I'll always be thankful for that.
Everything he did big. He loved big. He was fiercely loyal and protective of all his family and friends. In 23 years, he crammed a lifetime of living that most people don't get in 93 years.
Police have not yet said what caused the crash that killed Brewer.
In Lincoln County, work continues to repair a broken water main at a Kentucky high school. The leak at Lincoln County High School was first noticed last week. A sprinkler company was called in today. They believe the leak is from the fire loop. The water was shut off over the weekend so repairs could be made, but when it was turned back on yesterday, it was discolored. There was no school today, and classes have been canceled for tomorrow as well. Part of a central Kentucky city is under a boil water advisory right now. Residents in the east side of Frankfort are being asked to boil their water for 2 minutes before using it. The water department says the advisory is a precaution because of a loss in pressure in the water main caused by a sewer contractor. The pump line to the east side of the city was damaged. This affects the campus of Kentucky State University, and any schools in the area will be canceled tomorrow.
The weather, especially during the winter months, can really mess up school and sports schedules. Danny from Harlan has our good question tonight. When high school basketball games are called off due to the weather, will the KHSAA extend the season to make up the games? For the answer, we asked the commissioner of the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, Julian Tackett. He says schools have 12 weeks to play a maximum of 30 games. The only required games any school would play are those in a district that chooses to seed. There are documented procedures for breaking ties if any of those required seeded games are unable to be played during the regular season. So for that reason, the season would not be extended unless these catastrophic type of events occur during the postseason district or region. So there you have it from Mr. Tackett. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
A familiar face is making another run at office. Still ahead here on WKYT News at 5:30. We'll hear from Matt Bevin on why he should be Kentucky's next governor.
I'm Bill Bryant. The filing deadline passes for Kentucky major party candidates running statewide this year, but an independent who runs a well-known website says he'll run against the parties and their money. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm Sam Smith in Harrison County. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you about a car crash yesterday that claimed the life of a high school student and injured another one, and how folks here are mourning the loss.